Hi, today I have an art journal page for you in this little handmade journal. I was inspired by a course on Domestika to create this little book, and I flipped the first two pages because I like them really much, and here I did a quick spread with the craft collection, and I stamped these leafy images with Versamark, and then I covered them with the pan pastel, soft pastels, and the background was previously covered with a layer of gouache paint. The spread I'm working on today is covered with a thin layer of gesso, and it's already dry, and I'm going in with a little bit of acrylic ink. If you have read the title, you know that we are going to rescue a ruined art journal page, and I thought this would be a nice idea to share this with you because sometimes things don't work out as you expect them to work, and then you have to find other ways to rescue your piece or just work around it. I'm blending the ink with a little bit of water and a brush. I will link the class I've mentioned that I'm taking over on Domestika in my video description. It's a really interesting class from an illustrator who turns old books into daily graphic journals, and I really like his ideas, and this was just a quick approach of me to create a similar journal. I'm a little bit careful with this book because it's really old. I believe it was 1922, so about 100 years old when it was printed, and it has super thin pages, and I think it's not good to wet them really much, so I try to use as less water as possible, and I also don't use my spray bottle, which I would probably do on such a page with fluid paint, but I'm afraid to ruin the whole book. I also use some kind of handmade acrylic ink. It's a mixture of acrylic paints, water and fluid medium, which creates kind of a fluid acrylic paint. And I'm calling this Indian Gold, and I used 2 parts Indian Yellow and 1 part Burnt Sienna, and then I used 1 part water and 1 part of the fluid medium. This color mixture almost looks like quinacridone gold, as I used the Burnt Sienna, which is a transparent color, plus the Indian Yellow, which also is a very transparent color. I get a similar look. Quinacridone gold is one of my favorite colors, and it's super expensive, and there are not many brands that carry this color. I will write the recipe for this in the video description. When I have too much water in my spine, I just dry my brush and soak that water up. While my page is still wet, I'm going in with a Derwent Inktense pencil, and I'm using the aquamarine green. It's my favorite color, and I just scribble into the wet paint, and sometimes I dip the nib of the pencil into water so I get a bolder line. And this is the first time where it happens that I'm not happy with the result. Because I don't like the scribbles at the top of the page, I would prefer to have those scribbles only at the bottom. But as this is a water-soluble pencil, I just can erase it with water and a brush. I'm going to make some more marks with the pencil, and while I was watching this spread coming together in my video, I thought that this stage of the page is really pretty, and maybe I should have left it like it is and just add some kind of a simple focal point to it. And probably I will do this in one of my next spreads. I let the page dry completely, and now I'm coming in with a stamp. I want to use this as my main image on the page, and it's from the Pencil Marks number 3, which is one of our clear stamp sets. And talking about clear stamps, I'm expecting a new order with some new designs, not brand new, but some new clear stamp designs today. So it's Friday now. I don't know if they will arrive because it's UPS bringing them, and they are not very good at giving me the right time. So we will see, but maybe they are already in the store. You might want to have a look. I stamped the small rainbow from the set to the page. This is the extra stamp that the clear set has because it's a bit bigger than the rubber sheet, so there is a bit more room to add another stamp or 2 or 3 stamps. I want to use that script stamp from the Mixed Media Marks, but my ink pad is almost empty, and that's not a good idea. To put this on a thin page together with this sticky stamp, and you can see it ruined my page. I will now re-ink my stamp pad, and then I will see what I can do to rescue this spread. By the way, I laid a piece of thick foam underneath the page to make sure I get a good stamp impression. I will adhere some collage paper over the ruined page. And here I have some old book papers that are either stamped or scribbled or painted. And I think I will use this one because I think it fits underneath the rainbow. This is a stamp from one of our craft collection stamps. I can't remember if it's set number 4 or 5. Before I'm gluing this down, I want to stamp this script stamp again. And the ink works out pretty nice this time, but maybe you can see that my foam pad has moved a little and I didn't recognize that. So I'm ruining the whole second image. I'm stamping the first one. Doesn't turn out good because I stamped not hard enough, as I was a bit afraid that it will ruin my page again. And here I totally messed it up. And okay, this is the time where I need more collage, and this is also something I really like about mixed media. If something happens and it's not nice or good, then just adhere a piece of collage on top. Here I'm starting by just adhering back in that little snippet that I teared out, and it's almost invisible that there's something not okay. And now I need something to cover up that bottom. Of course, I could also use gesso and just go over it with gesso and then add some more paint, but I found this paper in my little box with collage papers, and I think it fits perfectly. It takes me a while now to arrange the papers I'm adhering. I want to add some more because I don't want to have only this single one on my page, and I'm trying out different options until I'm happy with the result. Whenever I'm not sure if something is looking good, I have a view through my camera because this just changes the perspective and it makes a huge difference. So I just can recommend, if you are not sure about a layout, just take a photo or look through the camera on your piece and you will see a difference. I will now speed this up a little bit because it takes a while until I'm happy with my papers. Here I'm deciding that I want to use this piece with the green yellow on the right side. And by the way, this paper I'm using here is just a leftover paint paper. Whenever I use acrylic paints or any kind of pencils or stamps, I just clean my stamps there, I wipe the brushes clean, I add leftover paint, I use it as my paint palette, and that gives me really nice collage papers. Here I'm still not sure what to do with this corner. I don't want to leave it like it is because it's too much pink, I feel. But then I got the idea to cut out tiny circles from the paper and adhere those. I'm pretty happy with my page now. The only thing I want to add are some titles, and here I cut also from a leftover piece of paper such a tab, and I stamped it with Make Art. These stamps are also on the Mixed Media Marks clear stamp set, and I'm also adhering some words from the Mix a Sentiment stamp set, and I pick Creativity Takes Courage, and there's also the word create on this sheet, and I think about adhering this right beneath that little tab. I think that looks really cute. Here I have glued down the other words, and I'm using a Tombow pen to just fill in that white space of the word. And I just make some marks with the Tombow pen just because I thought it might be nice. And if you know my videos, you know that I often use spiders on my spreads, and also today I want to use them, and I'm using my Handmade Fluid Paint to do this. Yes, and that's my finished spread. I just highlight these words a little with a white Posca pen so they stand out a bit more from this busy background. I hope you enjoyed today's video and I wish you a wonderful weekend. Bye!